Most people believe attraction is a simple blend of chemistry, timing, and compatibility. Welcome to Emotional Shadow, but what if the real forces that draw two people together, or quietly pull them apart, are far older, deeper, and far more unconscious than anyone realizes? What if the success or failure of a relationship isn't decided in heated arguments, emotional confessions, or romantic gestures, but in a series of hidden psychological patterns that operate beneath awareness? Patterns most people never even notice, yet obey instinctively. These invisible influences shape what we desire, what we tolerate, what we chase, and what we run from. And the most unsettling truth is that we don't choose, timante choose. Was. This video explores the hidden patterns of attraction that decide whether connection thrives, collapses, or never has a chance at all. Long before modern ideas of love and compatibility existed, humans formed connections based on survival-driven instincts and emotional imprints inherited across generations. The earliest psychologists, from Freud to Bowlby, and researchers like Mary Ainsworth, John Gottman, and Helen Fisher, each uncovered pieces of a mysterious, interconnected puzzle. Freud's insight into repetition, compulsion hinted that people gravitate toward familiar emotional. Bowlby revealed how early caregiving forms attachment templates that dictate how adults give and receive love. Fisher mapped the neurochemistry of attraction, showing how dopamine, serotonin, and oxytocin create emotional highs that mimic addiction. Gottman observed microbehaviors that predicted long-term relationship outcomes with shocking accuracy. Each theory pointed toward the same unexpected truth. Attraction is not spontaneous, and those patterns rarely look like what people consciously believe they are choosing. The origins of these hidden attraction patterns begin in childhood, long before romantic relationships ever form. The earliest relational experiences create emotional blueprints, quiet instructions that dictate what feels safe, what feels exciting, and what feels like love. For one child, love might feel like warmth, consistency, and being seen. For another, it may be intertwined with unpredictability, emotional distance, or conditional affection. These patterns become internalized expectations, shaping how people interpret gestures, respond to conflict, and determine whether someone feels trustworthy or threatening. This early programming doesn't disappear with age. It simply hides beneath logic, resurfacing when relationships begin to matter. As people grow into adulthood, these hidden emotional codes begin influencing their relationship choices. The rise of attraction is often mistaken for destiny, chemistry, or an unexplainable magnetism. But beneath those experiences lies a complex system of psychological triggers and familiar emotional cues. When two people meet, the nervous system quickly scans for resonance with past relational templates. Someone with a secure pattern might gravitate toward emotional availability, consistency, and mutual respect. Someone with an anxious imprint may feel drawn to intensity, chase uncertainty, or mistake emotional volatility for passion. Those with avoidant patterns often pursue independence, distance, or partners who require emotional caretaking, ironically reinforcing their fear of vulnerability. This interplay forms the silent architecture of attraction, creating dynamics that feel spontaneous but follow predictable psychological lines. The impact of these hidden patterns becomes most visible once the relationship deepens. What seemed like chemistry may reveal itself as unresolved emotional wounds signaling each other. What felt familiar may turn out to be a disguised repetition of old psychological battles. Couples begin to experience misalignment in expectations, needs, and emotional rhythms. One might interpret silence as rejection. These mismatched interpretations trigger cycles of miscommunication that neither partner can explain logically. Patterns that were invisible at the beginning now begin directing the relationship's trajectory. Every relationship eventually reaches a breaking point, a moment when the unconscious patterns clash with conscious desires. These breaking points often emerge as recurring conflicts that never resolve, emotional withdrawals that grow heavier over time, or unspoken resentments that quietly accumulate. What makes these conflicts feel so destabilizing is not the surface disagreement, but the deeper emotional history it awakens. A partner shutting down triggers memories of neglect. A partner demanding too much evokes memories of pressure. A partner pulling away resurrects childhood fears. These reactions are not about the present moment. They are echoes of old emotional imprints resurfacing under stress. The consequences on emotional intimacy can be profound when partners fall into patterned reactions. Kissing, withdrawing, controlling, pleasing, or shutting down true intimacy becomes impossible. Instead of connecting through mutual understanding, each partner relates from instinctive defenses. Emotional vulnerability becomes rare, communication becomes distorted, and the relationship becomes shaped by survival responses rather than genuine connection. Attempts to fix the relationship often fail because they only address surface behavior, not the underlying patterns driving them. No amount of advice, negotiation, or reassurance can resolve a relationship rooted in unexamined emotional programming. Modern relationship challenges amplify these hidden patterns even further. Data from psychological research suggests that emotional misattunement is increasing, with communication breakdowns becoming one of the most common reasons relationships fail. Studies show that people now rely more heavily on projection, assumption, and emotional guesswork due to digital communication and reduced in-person emotional practice. This means partners are more likely to interpret each other through old filters rather than actual present behavior. Patterns of manipulation, emotional avoidance, or hyperindependence are often masked as boundaries, standards, or communication preferences, even though they stem from unresolved emotional imprints. The same misalignments repeat across relationships, creating a cycle that feels like bad luck but is actually the nervous system reenacting familiar emotional rhythms. These hidden patterns also influence attraction in ways most people never realize. Research shows that people often feel drawn to those whose emotional dysfunction matches their own unresolved wounds. An anxious individual may feel irresistible chemistry with someone avoidant because the pattern feels familiar, not because the person is healthy for them. Someone who grew up emotionally invisible may find themselves attracted to partners who require emotional fixing, confusing self-sacrifice with love. These unconscious matches feel destined, yet they are simply emotional blueprints seeking repetition. Without awareness, the cycle continues indefinitely. In the end, attraction is not random. It is engineered by emotional history, shaped by psychological patterns, and reinforced by unconscious expectations. But the good news is that awareness can change everything. Once the hidden patterns become visible, people can choose differently. They can recognize familiar dysfunction disguised as passion, or see compatibility not as chemistry, but as emotional alignment. They can stop repeating what hurt them and start choosing what heals them. There are 3 key takeaways that can transform relationship, health, and communication mastery. First, attraction is not a feeling, it is a pattern. Becoming aware of your own relational imprints is the first step toward breaking unconscious cycles. Second, emotional safety is the strongest predictor of long-term relationship success, not excitement or instant chemistry. If someone consistently makes your nervous system relax, that is real compatibility. Third, communication is not about the words partners use, but the emotional frameworks behind them. Every conflict, every misunderstanding, and every unmet need is a reflection of deeper emotional histories interacting. The fragility of trust and love lies in how easily old wounds can distort present connection. Relationships are not destroyed by big events, but by the slow accumulation of misunderstood intentions, misaligned needs, and unspoken fears. Every person carries emotional history into every relationship. The question is whether they let it control the present or choose to understand it. If you found this exploration valuable, insightful, or eye-opening, consider subscribing or engaging with the channel. Every topic we cover reveals another layer of the unseen emotional world, shaping modern relationships. And the more you understand it, the more power you have to change your patterns, break your cycles, and build relationships grounded in clarity rather than confusion.